Hello and welcome to Fit to Box channel. Please like and subscribe and don't forget to jab that notifications bell for all my latest uploads. Today I've got Alex and Damien with me again and we're going to be discussing YouTube boxing. Is it good for boxing or is it bad for boxing? Damien?
Yes and no. There's parts of me that I'll start with the yes. For my love of boxing, I think anything that creates interest in boxing, whether it be a documentary, a film, a white collar fight, something that I've done, anything that comes beneath that sort of level of amateurs and then up to professionals, if it promotes the sport, then I'm all for it. So in that sense of it, then I'm kind of happy about it. The downside of it is that what does it take away from the professionals?
Yeah.
Because you're making a gimmick of it. I think there's things that have where I've been annoyed. What's his name? Freddie Flintoff. Freddie Flintoff, for example, cricketer his whole professional career, and he decides all of a sudden I want to be a boxer. Has one professional fight. It's an ITV.
Yeah.
It's like a pair of dogs having a scrap. He wins it, and it's just a spectacle. I think Rio Ferdinand's going to do something similar, but the British Board of Control refused his licence. And I think when there's guys that I'm 45 this year, when there's people that have had a career and they're late 30s and thinking, oh, I'll have a go at boxing, I think that degrades the sport. Because there's a lot of people, even in the recent months and last couple of years, have lost their lives doing this. It's a very, very serious sport, and I think for people just to think, oh, I'll have a go.
I think they're giving it a good go though.
They are giving it a very good go, and they are getting properly trained, etc. But I just still think, as a sportsman in another area, or for someone that's kind of done something else and thinks, oh, I'll have a bit of a pop at it, or via YouTube, you've got a limit where what's a gimmick and what's entertainment, and then what's serious sport. Yeah. Because people die.
Yeah.
So I've got yes and both in different ways. It's good for promoting, but then I think there's another side of it where people get a bit carried away and you're detracting from the brilliance and the skill of the people that do it for a living and how good they are.
Yeah.
So you got a YouTuber in the ring with there was I don't know what weight. What's Levchenko? 140? What's he fight at? 140? 135. 135. Well, there you are. Get your best YouTuber at 135. Yeah. And put him in the ring with Levchenko. What's going to happen?
Oh, you get destroyed. Yeah, but you can't do that to him.
Well, exactly. But I just think there's a level where you're being professional. You're being messing about. And I think that side of it I'm not so happy about. But then again, if it promotes the sport, if it gets people interested in boxing that normally wouldn't look at boxing, and they go, oh, what's happening this weekend, and they look at other fights coming up and they get into it, then that's great for the sport.
Yeah. Alex?
Yeah, I think Damien's touched probably on every angle you could touch on with what he said there, to be fair. I think the question, does it help boxing? I think yes, it does help boxing because of the eyes it draws to the sport.
I think that this is going to be like when me and Damien was growing up. We watched Rocky and we wanted to box.
Yes.
And I think that these kids are going to watch YouTube. They're going to watch these YouTubers. They're going to find themselves at a local boxing gym and get into the sport that way. So I see that this is going to be. It's not a film about boxing, but it's an actual series of events that gets kids through the door in boxing gyms and get some boxing. Yeah. So
I think it's a little bit different to the Rocky analogy though, because obviously when you and Damien were watching Rocky when you were young, you're thinking, wow, look at Rocky, look how good Rocky is, look how good
his defence was shocking.
Well, yeah, but as a kid, you think, look at Rocky's the man, but you're probably admiring Rocky to some degree when you're younger. But like, I think the people who are watching the YouTubers are literally just watching their favourite YouTuber. I think if their favourite YouTuber was playing football, they'd be like, I'm going to go and play football as well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but also what happens is, what about if next year they decide that they want to do darts or MMA, and then they go away from boxing? So for me, I think that the fact that they're sort of doing it in boxing, they've chosen out of all the sports, they've chosen boxing. And, I think they're giving it a good go. I think they are training, they are taking it serious. They certainly can sell a fight. You've only got to look at Daniel Dubois and who's the other big fella? Joe Joyce, both of them guys are struggling to sell fights because they haven't got the personality to get across on the screen. The YouTubers have got personality in bags, and so they can sell a fight.
Followers already.
Yeah. So what you've got is Joe Joyce and Dubois, where their actual performance will be world class, and it'll be a great sort of. It might not be a fight because it'll just be a great series of knockouts. But then you've got the YouTubers that have got the front bit, which is we can sell this. Even the ring entrances for the YouTube fights have been super impressive compared to somebody that just walks down towards the ring and gets through the ropes and gets in and that's it. So, I think that their ability to sell the fight, some of the actual professional boxers need to sort of take note on that. Because these guys, they're popular because they've got these massive sort of millions and millions of fans through YouTube. But those same fans will follow on, as you say, doing anything.
Yeah, I think that's where it ends, though. Where they're promoting the fight, doing an amazing job of promoting the fight. For me, that's where it ends because, obviously, I've watched quite a few of the, and I find myself drawn into watching it. I watch the YouTubers' vlogs, and I'm like, it's getting quite juicy. Actually, I'm quite enjoying this.
Yeah.
And it comes to the day, and I'm tuning into Sky Sports or whatever, and I'm watching it. And the second they get in the ring and they throw a punch, I'm like, I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah.
The
standard.
The build was better than the actual.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll do that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of them have, they've clearly trained hard and they have actually developed some pretty decent skills, and I do respect that because they're respecting the sport as well, which I appreciate.
But they're novice fighters. They're never going to get in and do a Lomachenko. They are novice fighters. So I look at it for that really. I'm looking at it from a point of view of they're trained really hard, they've built the fight up, and you've got a guy who's had one fight against another guy who's had one fight in some occasions. But how good's that fight going to be? It's not going to be brilliant. And then hopefully what will happen is the YouTube fans will get into it by that and then start to watch more boxing and actually recognise how great boxing is and how great you can get at boxing. And that level that the YouTubers are at really is just a very low novice level. If the fans of the YouTubers are thinking that is great boxing, obviously that's not the case. And if they're sort of deluding themselves that they think that is a great standard of boxing, then they need to sort of give their heads a little bit of a wobble because, the normal professionals, are like a journeyman would beat these YouTubers.
Yeah.
A guy who's had, 60, 70 losses on his record would deal with these YouTubers every single day. And that's the reality of the gulf between what they've got as their sort of talent and hard work. But they have only been training for a little while as well.
Well, the danger comes though, like the one lad, KSI, if you listen to him talk, I think he's sort of starting to believe his own hype a little bit, which is getting a bit dangerous because he's talking like, maybe one day I'll take on AJ. Yeah. And I'm thinking, hold your horses, mate, because there's serious levels to this. And because obviously the hype is so big, and people are probably tweeting him and whatever all day, every day, saying you're so good, you're so good. He's probably buying into his own, buying into what everyone's telling him. It might get to a point where it's a bit dangerous, and he takes a step too far, and he can get quite hurt. So he needs to be a bit careful, a bit introspective about how he's going to deal with it. Do you know what I mean? So,
but I think that while they seem to be having one pretty regular now, don't they? Sort of one's leading to another. I do feel sorry for the professional fighters that have been fighting for all these years and all that training and all that graft, and then suddenly find that they're lower on the card, and the YouTube fights, are on the top of the bill, aren't they? But then it's a bit of a popularity contest when it comes to selling the fights, because the same people, whether they're boxing hard and boxing fans or not, they're still paying the same amount for the ticket or the pay-per-view to watch their fighters. I mean, when they had the big YouTube event over in this country, that crowd wanted to watch the YouTubers, and they watched from the first fight right to the end. The place was packed from start to finish. I've been to fights. I was at the David A versus Enzo Maccarinelli one, whereby the seats around me were empty until the fight, until like David A was walking in. Then these people sort of arrived, watched the fight, and then straight away left. And there was a fight or two after, I think, but they didn't even wait around. They literally came to see the main event and then they went. And that's why you see these stadiums where there's nobody in there for the first fights. It'd be nice if we could get to the stage where the whole of the bill is watched by everyone. But even boxing fans are, they're sometimes picky over what fights they actually want to see, and they don't want to see the lower end card.
Well, if you listen to Eddie Hearn, when I think it was the Logan Paul KSI rematch, he had Billy Joe Saunders as the co-main event. His perspective was, we'll get everyone in to watch the main event, and we'll throw a seriously talented boxer in the shape of Billy Joe to try and show what boxing's really about. It just so happens that Billy didn't have his best performance that night, but I understand where he's coming from. I think it can draw a lot of eyes to, if done right, it can draw a lot of eyes to the sport. So
it's trying to find that sort of crossover where there's the reality of the professional, like you said, that gulf of skill. From YouTubers to your top professionals, and you said there, people would be very careful about their delusions from believing their own hype and crap and whatever else they are saying. I think KSI and Logan, I think there was some sort of altercation with Tony Bellew when he was sort of said, the same night I could jump in the ring and take them both out together. And it was like, he talks one thing and it might get people involved and get this chatter roll, but the reality is, when they hit you, it's completely different. And I've sparred at different levels. I've sparred with professional heavyweights, and I've sparred with amateurs and white collar level, and there is massive difference. Where
there's levels.
I can stand in front of people and feel confident, and I've stood in front of other people and I thought, what am I doing here? I need to go home quick because this is going to end badly.
You're right. I've sparred people at the boxing gym who are sort of like having a really good competitive spar with, and sort of throw them in with a professional. We're not talking the top professionals. These are just normal, skilled professional, and I can't touch them with a punch. And then you got the levels above that. And
the levels in boxing is unbelievable. It's only when you've sparred and when you've done boxing that you can realise. And you can see those levels, and you see somebody in the gym and you think, wow, how's somebody going to beat him? He's absolutely amazing. And then the best that he's going to do is English title or British title, and you think, well, if that's how good he is, how good are the top guys? So with the YouTube thing, I think the circus will roll on for a little while longer. There's certainly a lot of money in it. They seem like they're still interested. I personally think that they'll move on to MMA, and I would hate them to move on to MMA and then boxing then turn around and say, oh well, they should have just kept with the boxing and almost sort of be jealous of the fact that they've moved on. I think that's what will happen now. I think that they'll have their time with boxing and then they'll move on. And I just hope that during that period, enough youngsters walk into boxing gyms and get the boxing bug themselves and realise that this is a fantastic sport, and they don't sort of be tourists to the sport, see a little bit of it, and then next time it's MMA, and the year after it's darts, and the year after that it's swimming or whatever else the YouTubers want to do. Because literally, I think their fans will watch them do anything. We'll watch them do anything. So so from my point of view, I think it's good that they're doing boxing, but as the guys have said, let's keep it in sort of reality. The standard, the novice boxers, they're talking the talk as if they are Floyd Mayweather, but they're not Floyd Mayweather, and they never ever will be. No. So as long as that reality is there, I think it's good that they have chosen boxing at this time to attract people, and hopefully we'll get world champions in the future that will say, I first walked into a boxing club because of KSI or Logan Paul or whoever. I think that would be a good result for the sport. What would be a real shame is if it almost goes too circusy, in that your proper professionals are losing heart because they're trained for so long and so hard to get to these things, and they're lower down on the bill, and also, as I've said before, you know, if they're going to give away belts to YouTubers, I think that sends out all the wrong messages as well. You know, especially the WBC, which is a belt that people, you know, people dream about having a green WBC belt, and Jake Paul has got one, but you know, he's like wearing it as if he's a bona fide world champion.
Yeah. You know, they remind me of, as YouTubers with his belts, Charlie Zelenoff.
Yeah,
You go on YouTube watching his videos, walking around the street, and
I think
150 and 0.
Yeah, but Charlie Zelenoff, I think there's a mental problem there.
There is, but he's still that persona of his reality and what's real and what he does,
Yeah.
and then what's actually really happening.
Yeah, but with what the YouTubers are doing, they are at least doing the proper training. They are in proper events. He just turns up at people's gyms and says, "Do you want to have a spar?" And the person is not really even.
He goes to an exercise for less or something.
Yeah, and just smacks somebody who's not even a boxer. I mean, really, a lot of the stuff he's done, he's just assault. And I think there is something wrong with the guy. And I think he's been beat a few times by people as well. So, you know, potentially very dangerous for him.
Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, Deontay Wilder. Interestingly, Deontay Wilder, when he was hitting him, he had the wrong glove
he had
on.
a right-handed glove, because he had the wrong gloves on. He had the right-handed glove on his left hand.
I don't know why he did that.
It was actually punching.
I can't imagine that he'd ever put. I can't imagine he'd ever put the wrong glove on his hand.
Wilder was.
Yeah, Wilder. He just grabbed some gloves and grabbed them, and he sort of he smacked
seems
it.
like something he would do.
And he was actually, you could see that the glove was like that as he's standing there. It was like, you say that again, and he's like, hang on a minute.
Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want to be hit by Deontay Wilder if he was wearing a glove the right way or the wrong way, so, you know, it's still going to hurt. But I believe he'd said something like trolled him basically.
Yeah, it's quite derogatory,
Yeah, so, but good to sort of chew the fat on that and to sort of give our sort of view. It is quite a recent phenomenon really, the last couple of years, where these sort of events, there was a big event in the UK, and then it's gone across to America. You know, you could see how this will sort of go on a bit further, but I wonder how long it will go on, because I think that we might be reaching the end stages of it now, before they move on to something else. Yeah. But anything that brings people to boxing, I'm in favour of, as long as it's not turning it into a farce. And as Alex says, I think there is a fine line when it comes to this for that. So thanks very much to the lads for that fight discussion. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to Fit to Box channel, and I shall speak to you soon.